Everyday Superpower, where we talk about body language, we talk about relationships, game, attraction, repulsion, everything in between, okay? Today's topic of discussion is going to be about distance creating attraction, whereas familiarity doesn't. So there's this awkward balance, this seesaw dynamic, which is one of the most uncomfortable realities of human psychology when it comes to man and woman. And I'm speaking in regards to a man trying to seduce his way into a beautiful woman's mind and beyond. Distance creates attraction, and that's not purely within the physical realm. Absence is a tool to be utilized to stimulate the imagination, but only when it's done well, and only if you are aware of the impact and emphasis you have on a person's reality. So you see the seesaw when we speak on how one can be familiar, and that familiarity actually turns them away. That closeness is repulsive. Then how do I access that closeness without being close? You have to play a perfect back and forth. And as opposed to getting close on the ground level, you must get close and meet in the middle, as opposed to one going to the other at the top. You climb the triangle and you meet at the top over time. You start here as strangers, and if we meet here, it's repulsive. You need to draw her into you as you both climb, and that upwards momentum is intensity, is emotional drive, is fascination, stimulation of the imagination. And the thing being, if you play the game for too long, she's not going to bother meeting you at the top, and you'll be there waiting for her, continuing to try and play this game where she's moved on. So it's a perfect and horrible battle to meet in the same place to create something special. Familiarity is good for friendship, but familiarity doesn't create attention, because that which we understand isn't fun anymore. The video game you know inside and out isn't as fun and as enticing and as stimulating as a new video game you've picked up, as to where you don't know the story and you are playing it, i.e. you are communicating with it in a way. And it keeps feeding you little bits and little bits and little bits and little bits, and it takes you through this experience. But even a video game resolves, and you are a man, and you can be endless. You can have and possess fathoms of depth, of character, which she will never ever understand or unlock. And that is how you will have a woman forever. That is how you will have a woman for a lifetime. That is how you will have a perfect marriage and continue to have this loving, sexualized, perfect experience where this woman is in position of fascination for you for years upon years upon years on end. Because you know what happens? These men marry these women down to the sake of doing so, primarily driven upon the female narrative. Okay, for her security. She needs you in that marriage to ensure security for that child. I don't disagree it for the sake of a child, but it's the feminine narrative, biologically speaking, to lock you down and to keep you away and to create this boundary and to domesticate you like a house cat. And then when the years go by and you're doing nothing new and you're the same person, that's not attractive. That is not attractive. There's no surprise. There's no external factor that creates the yin to the yang of the internal factor, which is your relationship. There's nothing new and exciting. There is no magic. And what happens? That same woman who locked you into that now divorces you because you're boring and you're not as exciting as the mysterious man who has distance. He might be right next to me. He might be in the workplace, sat next to me. But to me, he is mysterious. To me, he is mysterious because he won't let me into his world. And I wish I knew what was going on to his world because he lets out little hints from time to time. He is so close, yet he is so far away. Do you not see where I'm coming from? How can you have light and dark as one? I can see you, but I can't see you. How attractive is that? The fly sees the bright light and heads towards it and zzz, gets caught. It's a fly killer, trapped. Animals evolve to adapt to their environments. They exist, but they don't. Familiarity is good to establish friendship. It's incredibly powerful. It's what spies will do to establish relationships with those whom they need to sort of be with relationships with those who they need to be involved with a different faction. They will appear in their peripheral in their day-to-day activities before establishing conversation, maybe weeks on down the line, and then slowly and surely they make friends as they start to understand each other and start to discuss, who they are and what they're doing. The more you do that, the less attractive you become. You can express your content and character and create identity and allow positive, creative, brilliant discussion and communication. But if you tell the ins and outs of who you are and where you're going and why you're doing it and this and that, there's nothing more to think about. There's nothing more to desire. There is nothing more that stimulates that endless imagination of that woman, so she'll have to think about something else. And you tell me what else she's going to think about. Some men are naturally mysterious. Some men are naturally moving here, there and everywhere. Always busy, always doing something. Surrounded by some noise that shrouds the standard pattern of the human. These people are attractive. And one of these men will come into her life. If you're not one of them men, you have to manufacture it and be aware of it. Power to you. That's some game. Click like and subscribe. And on that note, I'm signing out. So 2 links down in the description. One takes you to the catalogue of body language. It's my playlist that consists of my material. Teaches you how to read the body languages of others, the subconscious behaviours. Second to that is the Patreon. Okay? That's where you learn attraction cues, repulsion cues. I take you into a space where you will learn how to internalise whether somebody is attracted or turned off by you. And you'll never forget that information. It's the real game. I'm signing out.